You know, like when the game came back, I was working on Teen Guide, so I was only playing Teen, collecting content for Teen Guide. And since they dropped it, I started getting on Monster. Like, try to do a couple of games every day. And I've been enjoying it. I still do think that Monster needs quality of life changes, just because, like, it feels unrewarding to play Monster compared to Teen. You know, like, every mistake you make is 25% of your life. You need to be on guard 100% of the game. Like, you need to focus, especially when you play against really good cracked Teens. There's gonna be like a 30-minute mentally exhausting match. Teens can rest in those 30 minutes, but you can't, right? Yeah, I was thinking, what was the worst possible thing about Monster, right? As I said, I think it's a good role, it's fun to play, it just feels really unrewarding for anything that you do. Unless you have an enormous pressure in the early game and control the map really well, I feel like the match is gonna start, like, it's gonna extend for over 20 minutes and it's gonna be back and forth kind of match, which is okay, but considering that you don't have a second to rest, it can be really mentally frustrating and exhausting after the match. And like 1 or 2 matches like that, I'm done, right? I need a break. With Teen, I can just play for hours, even after matches like that, just because like in the match you can rest a little bit. Teen kills should be a louder, more intense screen, maybe even map wide. Last Teen kills should have a unique mori. I don't think that's like necessarily what's gonna make it easier on the Monster. Monster needs a room to breathe while they play. That you can't focus 100%, like 200% focus for 30 minutes straight. It's exhausting. So I was thinking, what was the worst thing about Monster? And the fact that like when everybody has a weapon, right? All teams have weapons. This is when they have the upper hand 100%. There is no question about it that no Monster will be stronger than 4 teams with weapons. This is when you need to go for an outplay. This is when you need to be extremely patient, extremely focused, and you need to focus like for 2 minutes straight for the one of them to make a mistake where you get where you can get a hit on them, and that one hit doesn't feel all that rewarding, because after that you need to back away, they will heal them back up, and you're just back at square zero, right? Obviously you have the rage mechanic, which definitely does help, but I don't think it's enough. I will say as Monster, my first experience with my dopamine was at its peak at the start of the round when I was snowballing, but it got stressful when the weapons come out. It does feel more rewarding getting a stigma off than just downing a team. Not sure how devs can address how each side feels when it comes to these things. I agree. I have the same issue at the moment. Like, I've been getting better and better at controlling the map and having early pressure, because I am still technically learning Monster, and like especially Werewolf, whom I have like 15 matches on in total across the last 7 months. But I do have good early game pressure. I know how to control the map. I know how to track teams. Like, I'm getting better at least at it. But once there's 4 weapons, I feel like I'm pushed into the corner way too much, right? Like, as I said, that's fine. If the team, that's your fault if you let them have 4 weapons. You should be controlling the map better. However, once that happens, if I manage to outplay them and get a hit or 2, and I manage to, like, you know, like, let's say I hit 2 tins in one fight. Like, I managed to capitalize on somebody's mistake. I hit one tin, then I managed to hit another one, and I back away, right? There's 2 hits. That's my huge outplay right there, and they will just reset. And I don't even get a full rage bar. Obviously, this would suck if I get a full rage bar of 2 hits when they have no weapons, because my pressure becomes even more enormous when they got nothing. But I don't know what to do here. I'm like really torn as to what do I want them to do, because anything they do will make Monster too strong when nobody has a weapon. But there definitely needs something that lets the Monster breathe. I think that's where the focus needs to be. Let the Monster breathe a little bit. Because teams have that option, Monsters don't. And that's where the biggest separation between the 2 roles is. And where the biggest frustrations come from. It just needs to feel more rewarding to make such huge outplays on teams. As I said, 4 weapons against you is literally, like, you can't do anything. Once you get an outplay in that situation, you need to feel more rewarded. That's where what I'm thinking. Monster gameplay satisfaction, neuron activation, happy Monster main. I think I could even possibly be a Monster main if it was just if it felt more rewarding and more like more chill as Teen. I mean, I do like weapons. I do like making tactics and stuff. So having a solo role where I don't have to necessarily depend on 3 other people in solo queue could also be really good. Maybe they can focus more on how rage works, like maybe they can get it faster off hits, but maybe when a team is down, they're losing a lot of health of it. The rage mechanic feels rewarding when it happens. We can start there. I think they should implement sort of like rage mechanic, how it affects you when there is multiple weapons. I don't know how exactly that would work, because like if your rage automatically went more up if they have like more weapons, then you would realize, oh shit, they have more weapons even though I didn't see them, which would give the monster information that he's not supposed to have. But maybe like once you register a weapon, there's like a sound notification and you can actually see that weapon now next to the icon of that character. It's like your game registers that weapon next to the person who has it. If they drop a weapon while you don't see them, you will still register as if they have it until you see them without a weapon or with a different weapon. And then the rage mechanic can work accordingly, right? If they have 3 weapons you know of, like you register 3 weapons, next hit will give you 5% more rage bar per weapon. Like, I think that could make it more rewarding for you when they have weapons, and it wouldn't necessarily make teams weaker or monsters too much stronger. Much stronger? Not too much. Much stronger. I feel like the balance wouldn't go off there. Like, it would still be pretty well balanced, but the monster could actually play... would feel more rewarded when they get a hit in on 4 teams who have weapons, because like now 2 hits would mean a rage, like fully charged rage bar instead of 3, and that would be like a huge quality of life in itself. Maybe the satisfaction is not gameplay wise, maybe it's just how it feels to down a team. It should feel more explosive, like killing a stigma. Read my message above. Okay, hear me out. What if downing a team makes him banish for 10 seconds? I'm not sure how that would affect the gameplay. It could work, but I'm not sure if it would actually help the monster. Sometimes it would more... I feel like it would be imbalanced, because sometimes it would mean way too much and sometimes it wouldn't mean enough. Yeah, I think the monster needs more info and sound cues that's happening around the map. They need more resources for it to be rewarding. Exactly. I've been thinking the exact same thing. First of all, we need quality of life, just like we talked about. Maybe monster can register weapons in their HUD once they see them until they unsee them. Like until they see the team again with a different weapon or the same weapon. That, first of all, like also a sound cue when they see a weapon, so you get notified, holy shit, you just noticed a weapon, be careful. Even if you didn't necessarily see it with your own eyes, the screen has seen it and it lets you know. It makes your job a bit easier. What else? If you give that kind of information, then on top of that, maybe the rage bar works accordingly, and that's like in itself already a balance shift a little bit, and it makes monster a bit more rewarding and easier. And then on top of that, I think monster needs something to do around the map while they you know what would be sick? After the first team dies, the monster, if they find a book before the teens do, they can destroy the book and it will respawn on the map in a minute again, but on a random spot. Like, that would be so sick, because you can prevent them from raising too fast. I feel like that would be a sick addition to the game. Because the book is something like, that's a second chance, right? I think monster needs to be able to fight that. Because you're not gonna be necessarily go look for the book around the map. You're not gonna be looking for the book. But if you run into it accidentally, you can do something about it. Because like, look, if you go looking for the book and 3 other teams just craft weapons, that's again like camping. You got fucking punished for it. But if you accidentally find it, or if you know where it is exactly, where it is already, you can just go destroy it. It will randomly spawn on another spot in a minute. And the teams can also know, like, they get a sound cue if the book was destroyed, just so they know. I mean, it would still be more. It's more than we have already. Like, you say 1 minute is too short. It's more than we already have as a monster, right? You don't have that option at all. Like, 1 minute would be more. Reward for damage evasion. Yeah, I think just hitting a team with a weapon should generally give you more rage, because you know, like, oh, they have a weapon, they damage me. It's like, it makes sense to get more rage in that sense. Because you get pissed at them having a weapon and fighting back.